I am live. Um, I should probably be more excited. All right, let me talk about what I'm gonna do today. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check to see. Okay, I just want to say this. The first thing I did was I actually got this working where I figured this out. So you do C tags R dash A, and then bundle show, right? And then now I can like go into the my web framework and like actually mess around with the files just from the same app, which is like really nice. So that's cool. All right. You know what? My headphones are super loud. I don't think it should be super loud for you though. Okay. I don't know if I just killed the music. Oh no, it's okay. Um, okay. All right. That's better for me. Okay. Here, I can turn it up for you though. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. That I think that's better for my headphones. All right. Let me tweet this real quick. That I'm live. Also let me see if I can see the chat. Like, what am I doing? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. All right. Um, Still working on Twitter follower export thing. All right, Twitch.tv. You can't see this, but I'm doing it. Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So this is probably gonna be a short one. But I started pretty early, so I feel like it'll be all right. Okay. So let's see. I've made like a ton of changes to Yes Code, but I don't really want to talk about it because there's really no point. But I think the API is very similar. So I think what I'm gonna do right now is just like try to see if this is all working. Let's see. Migrate. Okay, that looks okay, right? It looks like we did some SQL, right? Um, Also, this is you can't hear this on the VOD, but this is Memphis Mayfire. And if it does show up on the VOD, which I will watch right after this, I will immediately delete it because this is copyrighted for sure. I don't know like who signed them or what, but it's definitely not something that is not copyrighted. And I care a lot about my copy strikes, so okay, so let me see. I have no idea if any of this works. Like, I'm just gonna start it up, and we're just gonna see, right? Okay, here we go. I already told you. So I'm using this is Ruby 3. If you've never seen this, and it's using the Falcon web server. Uh, and it's okay. So it doesn't work at all. Oh, app record does. Oh, of course, of course. I added. Okay, so I added this login thing, but I don't have an app record. Maybe I should just create one, right? Even though I don't know what would be in it like necessarily, so maybe I won't do that. Okay, let's try those again. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get my mic closer to my face. There we go. One thing I like about YouTube videos is they use this shotgun mic, and you can't see what's going on. You know what? This I think this might be too zoomed in. Like the code might be too it might be too big, right? I feel like it might be too big. Like what if I just um what if put it to 0? That might be too small. What if I just do like 4 of those? I think that's a little bit. I think that's okay. You know what? No, we'll make it as big as possible. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so let me see. Does this work? Let me show you what I see here. it's not looking good. Okay, it's definitely not looking good. It's not a good thing. So this I tried to make this module, this Twitter module. So the point of this app is to you sign in with Twitter, and then it downloads your followers. It shows it in an HTML table, and there's a button that says export to CSV, and it downloads the CSV file to your computer. So like you can do some analytics and stuff on it, right? That's the whole point of it. So where I am now is I have Twitter auth working, but I reorganized everything. So everything's currently broken, but it technically could work if I didn't just reorganize everything. Okay, so this when I include this Twitter module to my controller, it should have this OAuth URL, right? It should have that. Oh, I called it OAuth 2 URL. Oh my goodness, are you serious? Does it matter? Okay, let me rename this. Oh my gosh, like I can't believe that. Okay, all right, now it's working. All right, there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna just go through the flow. And so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go to this OAuth URL, and it's gonna send me to Twitter, and then it's gonna come back and hit this authorizations controller. And this authorizations controller is going to check to see if the state from the URL, the redirect URL, matches the state in the session. If it doesn't, it's just going to render this view, this authorizations index view, which is here. Authorizations index emote. So I do this so I could just quickly get to the thing with GF. All right, so Peter Boyer, welcome. Curious, why not just make a route followers CSV, and it renders the CSV as a route? Yes, I'm not using Rails. This is my own crazy concoction of a web framework for Ruby, so that's probably why. But I actually haven't got to the CSV part yet, so okay, so this will show this error message. And then, but once I get to the CSV part, I'll probably come up with something that like rips off Rails or something. I'll probably come up with something. Okay, so this is going to call this. So then after, if this matches, it's going to call this user auth method, which you can see here. Just thinking it'd be nice to be able to curl the output to a local file. It would be nice to do that. And I think that's what I will do. Like, I'll probably come up with something like get username, or just get, because I'm not gonna let anyone get anyone else's followers, right? So maybe I'll come up with like followers, like download or something, or whatever, index, like .csv or something, and then you could just curl followers.csv. But maybe you should be able to do that though, right? Maybe you should be able to get someone's followers, without logging in. I didn't really think about that. I only force people to log in so I can get more API requests, because the Twitter API, you can only make 15 requests for every 15 minutes across the whole app if you don't log in, if you don't make them log in. So if you make people log in, then you get 15 requests per user per every 15 minutes. So that's kind of nice if you have like a lot of followers. I only have 600 followers, so I don't have that many. So every request I'm getting is the maximum followers is 1,000 followers per request. So I can only get 15,000 followers every 15 minutes. So yeah, but I could do this, this follower CSV thing, but I guess I could do this. I could say followers index with no username, and you have to be logged in, right? I don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. Okay, so this auth gets called here, and so I have this. This is gonna call OAuth 2 token, and it's here, and it's gonna. So once Twitter redirects to me, right? It's gonna redirect, or it's gonna send a request to Twitter that says it's a post request, and it's gonna send all this stuff, and it's going to it's going to hopefully return the body to me. And then from there, you know what I just realized? This is actually going to be body. And then this is going to be body data, right? There we go. And then, so this, I think it's going to be body data. I'm pretty sure. I'm actually not sure. Shoot. What is it? What does it return? Let's look at it. Developer, not Apple. I definitely don't want any of this. Authentication reference. Okay, so OAuth 2 token, what does it return? Oh, also, what fuzzy finder plugin are you using for Vim? I am using, so this is Neovim, and Neovim actually comes with this fuzzy finder. It's called what are they called? I don't even know what it's called. What is it called? Let's see. It's called what do they call this? Neovim Fuzzy Finder? I think it's just called the Fuzzy Finder. No, there's a name for it. Telescope. It's called Telescope. Telescope. Okay, so that's what it's called. There we go. Okay, so let me make this a little bigger. Oh my gosh, now it's desktop, but not really. Okay, so this is Telescope, and it's got so you can oh, this is kind of cool. So you can Telescope, is it built in? Let me see. Nvim init Telescope. Oh, you know what? It's not built in. Never mind. I thought it came with it. All right, so yeah, this is it. It's like pop-up, plenary, and this Telescope thing. And then I used I think I used FZF or something, which is like the fuzzy bits of it or something. But you can use like a bunch of backends, right? Like you can use this FD thing, but I think I just use like ripgrep maybe. I'm not sure. I'm also using Telescope. Just looks different on your stream. Oh, you are using Telescope. Yeah, so I'm using my color scheme is kind of weird. Maybe that's what it is. Let's see if I do this. Does it look different? Maybe it's yeah, maybe it's the color scheme. I'm using Everforest, I think. Everforest. This color scheme here. The hard one, I think. This one, dark hard, I think. Yeah. I think that's what I'm using. Yeah, I really like it. It took me a while to find it, but yeah, it's cool. Okay, so all right, so this gets OAuth 2 token, and like I'm gonna do like a Ruby 3 destructure situation, and then in one database transaction, I'm going to insert a new login, which is a table I just created. So I doubt this is gonna work. Okay, whatever. So this is user ID access token. Okay, so this is gonna insert the access token and the expires, and then in a database transaction, which is not great, but it's because it's using SQLite, so long term, I'm a fool. It's just missing the file preview on the side. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't have a file preview. I just keep it just fuzzy finder, right? There's no oh yeah, it doesn't have the file preview because it's too big, right? Or here, so if I did that, there we go. Now it has the file preview. Yeah, because I zoomed in for the text, right? So that was my fault. You know what? I'm gonna pause this because it just makes me look like I'm totally broken in this thing. All right, yeah, there it is. Okay, so anyway, so it's gonna make this request to Twitter, and then it's gonna get this back, so I can actually get the I guess I can call this res, right? There we go. And then I'm going to try to upsert, which does not exist. So I actually have to make this first before I even do this. I guess the one thing I could do is I could just do this for now. We could say user, and then we could find users by Twitter ID, right? And username. And we could say user ID from user where user ID or Twitter ID is that, and username is this. It would be nice to do an upsert, but what are you gonna do? And then so here I can just say query, which does not exist actually. I have to say select. I think I have to say select. Select, you might like ptzz lfvim, ptzz lf.vim. Line feed integration. Is that what LF stands for? What is if? Is it if? Terminal file manager. List files written in Go with a heavy inspiration from Ranger. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh wow, look at that. That's really cool. File Explorer lets you easily browse around if you want to find a file outside the current. Oh yeah, yeah, that's interesting. I might use this because I do have that problem where I'm just like, oh, just let me open it with edit, you know. But I don't usually run into it too much. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, so Twitter ID and username, right? Select my Twitter. Yeah, okay, good. And then Twitter ID is going to be ID. And username is username. Yeah, let me look at this again. Yeah, that's probably fine. That's like a really, select. Oh, you know what? I should make that a unique constraint actually, now that I'm looking at this. Yeah, I need to make this a unique constraint. And I think there is a way to do it with create table. By Twitter. I'll just say by Twitter. Cuz I really didn't like that name. Okay, by Twitter. Okay. And then yeah, I need to make this. What is it? SQLite compound unique constraint. You think I'd know this by now? I've already looked it up on Stack Overflow. I've already been here a million times. There we go. Unique. Twitter username. Well, yeah, we'll just do it like this. Username and Twitter ID. Cool. Okay, so that's pretty good now, right? Yeah, that's good. By Twitter. Creds. No, it's fine. Okay, by Twitter, and then this is good, better, and then so I think I want to say first, right? If user, so here I'm gonna actually insert unless, right? So what am I doing? Insert Twitter ID, username. Okay, there we go. Okay, why is it wanting me to do this? Use the double O, of course. Okay. A gotcha is if you need to install LF also. I installed it and the flash kept closing with an error. LF not found. Oh yeah. Ruby looks crazy. What's with all the colons everywhere? Yeah, I think so I think it's because I'm doing a lot of hash stuff right now. Like it's a hash map. So I think it's because I'm not like putting them on new lines, you know? So Ruby 3 has this shortcut. So usually you'd have to, it's kind of like JSON where you'd have to like type in more stuff, but you can actually just leave off, as long as they're the same name, you can leave off the ends, right? And then I could do that here too. So like looks a little clearer. But I know what you're saying though. I guess it is pretty insane because I'm doing a lot of hash stuff, right? In this little bit here. So I know what you're talking about. It looks a little crazy. But yeah, so you basically just can leave off. So I'm destructuring here too. Yeah, it's similar to JavaScript. Yeah. So you can just like leave off the names if they're the same. That's why it looks so crazy, right? Okay, so this is looking good, right? So the one thing I have to do is we'll just delete the whole database. Okay, good. now I have my constraint. We'll start it up again. All right, so I'm going to try to find the first user by Twitter ID and username, and if it exists, use that user ID on this new login, and then if it doesn't, just insert a new user, all in the same transaction, right? And then this is probably going to fail, but what are you gonna do? Oh, yeah, okay, yes, okay. And then those prefix too. The prefix. Oh, right here. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's really weird. So like here in IRB, here I'll show you. So you can have like a. So there's actually a few ways to do it, right? You could do like the old hash rocket, right? Or you could do A1, but it still returns the hash rocket, right? Or you could do if you have a variable named A, then you could say A, right? Like I was saying before. But if you have a hash that is A, right? Then you could do this destructuring where you say, actually, you know what? We'll make a hash with B2. And then, so now we could do this destructuring where we like destructure. So B does not exist, right? But if you destructure B like this, it now exists in the current scope. Hash rocket. Hey, that's what they call it. I don't call it hash rocket. But yeah, so now you have B, right? I noticed a function with positional args that was like fn foo bar. Is that a hash also? Yes, that's also a hash. So like this, and this is the same, or any of this stuff. Like this is the same as me wrapping it in a hash, right? I mean, it's a little different with like Ruby. I forget which version, but yeah, it's essentially the same. Yeah, so this, yeah, it's like the same as me wrapping this in this. Um, yeah, it's the same. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like sugar. It's like like sugar. There's a lot of Ruby has a lot of sugar. It's probably bad for your health, I think. But yeah, yeah, it has a lot. It has a lot of sugar. Okay, so all right, so this should be okay. And then the other thing the authorizations controller does is it does the auth thing, and then it sets a session, and then in the background it will download all the followers. What if there is a second positional arg that isn't part of the hash map sugar syntax? So the way Ruby does it is so like let's say I have this XYZ method, right? Or hello, right? Or we'll call it say, right? And I have A, and then I have B, which is a hash, right? Or I could say B like this, and like you have to actually put B in there. So you can't. That the answer is you cannot, right? you can't do it. Like so, if you have a hash argument, it has to come at the end of the method, right? See that was they actually didn't even let you. They don't even let you do that. I don't think. If I could, I do that. Yeah, it says syntax error, right? Ruby. Yeah, so it's a little bit like a hack, right? Like so if you have A and then you say B here, and then we'll put A and we'll put B, and then we'll say there we go. So then we could say hello, and then we have to say B world, right? And then so that works. But if you have the naked hash or whatever you want to call it, and you leave it off, you can't do that, right? It's missing a keyword argument. So you can but yeah, it has to be at the end. So another thing you could do is you can make your positional arguments with a hash, and then you can let me just do this. You can do this. Hello, and then you can give a hash, but with a double star, and then it could it has like a splat on that to make it like positional arguments. I did this backwards. Hold on. So you can do this B C, right? And then you can say PC, okay. And then you could say A, or and then you can have a hash, right, with B and C, B1, C2, splat. Yeah, it's splat. Yeah. So you could say hello, and then you could say H like that, because otherwise you can't put H, right? It says wrong number of arguments. But here you can put double splat on the H, right? Yeah, that's it. Um, so yeah, this is kind of why of at the odd times that I look at random Ruby code from somewhere, there's so much clever syntax hacks that makes it impossible for an outsider to understand. Yeah, I get you know what? I never considered that. You know what? That's a good point though. Like, yeah, I try to stay away from that stuff and just use um regular things that don't do splats. But I think the main use for a splat is like is a what do you call that? Function currying, right? So like here's a dumb example. It's like if I have function A and it takes an argument B, right? Um and then if I have a function B that or I have a function C that is just gonna recall A, right? With another argument D. So now I want to just call A, but I don't want to have to like carry all the arguments over. So you could just say you can just say star, right? And then just call A with star. Um or just like args. And then you could do that, right? Like that's like one way to do function. That's the only way really to do like how do I like curry the arguments across? That's like the main thing for it. Yeah, I you know what Ruby syntax is pretty crazy. I got you know what I think that's what is throwing people off Rust too is like Rust is very similar to Ruby in its syntax, and I like almost immediately got it. I was like, oh yeah, like of course this is how it works, duh, you know. But yeah, I guess like you know the pipes and everything. Yeah, like FN args. Yeah, exactly. The triple dot. Yeah, exactly. So the splat is exactly like the triple dot syntax. It's yeah, it's exactly the same. Yep. Yeah, I you know what Ruby? Yeah, it's definitely something. Yeah. Okay, so then it's gonna download the followers. Which this is all new code that I have never run. The odds that this works is very low. It's gonna not be great. I don't even use this request number. Oh, I do. Okay, so okay, yeah. This is there's no way this is gonna work. Okay, so this calls followers, right? Um, okay. Oh my gosh, there's no way. There's just too much stuff. All right, I'm just gonna run it until it fails. All right, something went. It's already failing. Invalid scope. Oh, it's invalid scope. I also changed the scopes too. Authorize. Okay, is it gonna talk about scopes? Access token. Request token. Oh, maybe it's this. Guides. Where are the scopes though? Bro, this is wild AF. Yeah, it's pretty wild. It gets pretty wild in here, you know. There's no Ruby gets pretty crazy. Shoot, man. Where's the scopes? Like, how do I get to the scopes? Scope? I'm definitely doing the wrong scope. How is this? This is not okay. Scopes. We'll just yeah. I can't use this. Twitter API scopes. Um, is this it? Oh my gosh. No, that's not even it. DuckDuckGo is failing me. Okay, let's see. Scope. Okay, scope. Okay, here it is. Okay, so what scope was I using? I don't even know. Okay, follows dot read, and then users dot read, right? How are the scopes, how are they separated? Not with a comma? Is it spaces instead? Like, maybe it's, maybe it's not a comma. Maybe it's a space, right? Or maybe the comma needs to be escaped. Let's see. Is it going to give me an example? Oh, it is space. Oh my goodness. All right. That's why. All right. Okay, let's try it again. Here we go. Oh my goodness. It's still invalid scope. You know what? Let's just not do that. You know what? Let's actually it Oh, is it because I'm um yeah, maybe I can use the literal because I'm already escaping here, right? Yeah, I'm already escaping. I think I double escaped. Oh, it's a plus. Oh, it worked. All right, yes. That was it. It was a literal space. Can you show how to write a test case for testing the auth? As in testing your app's response to Twitter's OAuth callback. Yes, I can. Can I show how to write a test case for testing the auth? A test case for testing the auth. Wait, I'm still app's response to Twitter's OAuth callback. So when Twitter's when it redirects to my controller, yes, I can. Yeah. So like if I was gonna write a test, show us your skills. I mean, if I was gonna write, oh man, I don't usually write tests, but yeah, whatever. Let's see. So we could just make their test, right? I don't even have mini test in here. Um, what is mini? What is gem search mini test? Min test? Come on. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my goodness, there's so many. We're gonna have to limit that. Okay, it's 5:15. Okay. Tests are important. Are they? All right, let's see. Mini test, group, test, do, and I think we can do 2 groups, right? Development. Test. I mean, I'm not gonna do test. We'll just say development. Okay, and then we're gonna bundle. Okay. And then I have a test, app, test, controllers. Actually, you know what? We'll make a test controllers. Okay. Test controllers, authorizations. Oh, test authorizations. Okay, so this is the controller that we're going to be testing here, right? I'm currently running a Twitch bot that started small and simple, and the complexity slowly grew, and I got to write the test now. Already feels great. Does writing tests feel great? I feel like it doesn't. Let me see. What is the syntax for the stupid thing? Require mini test auto run, I think. Is that what it is? I don't remember. Yeah, that's it. And then I also need to bring in something from my other project, which is the framework project. Test run, is that what it is? Yeah, so we'll put that here, test. There we go. So run, just app. So this, oh wait. Yeah, that's fine. So this just runs through, it just requires all the test files. And when you have auto run, it just runs the tests. Plus, she'll eventually move those env arg accessors from the constructor method to deterministic known args into the controller. Let me see. What, the M's in the Twitter module. Will I move these as constants? I probably will leave them. Oh, it's probably all right. Best thing about test when everything comes back green. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, if I was gonna write a test for this controller, this is probably what I would do. Test authorizations, mini test, is that what? Yep. Okay. Test that. Test it returns the view. Test state mismatch. There we go. We'll call it. Yeah, there we go. That's a better name. Okay, so I just call the authorization. I have to require this controller, I think, actually, because I don't have that. So we'll say require app controllers authorizations, and then we can say authorizations, and we can say new, and we'll give it an env with state that with params state. Is that okay? Actually, no, you know what? It has to be a string. And then this is state. But it could be a string anyway because it's going to do toSymbol on it. At least that's what I do. So then string keys also hash rockets, right? That's the thing. Hash rockets for the string keys. And then so we'll just say env here. I'll move this out. And we'll make this a little nicer. There we go. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we'll say env authorizations, and we will say assert equal authorizations. We'll call index, and I think it's expected actual, right? Actual index. Actual expected, because I'm using jest. I really like phrasing the test. It should do. Naming is hard. Yeah, I don't like Ruby has something called rspec, and I don't actually like that. Like people get obsessed with rspec and all this like let and it and stuff, and I'm just like, no, like just make it methods on a class. Like just keep it simple. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like here, rspec tests Ruby, right? Oh my gosh, there's a Udemy course. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all right, here we go. Require. You know what I should do is I should add some types to this. Then we're really getting into it. Then yeah, see it says like describe, right? And it says finds the factorial, right? I don't like that. I really don't like it. It's so weird. Like, just make it a method. Just make it a method. Less can go wrong. Yeah, I mean, I can add types to this, and I think that RubyGems is smart enough to like add the types to my steep file. I think. Let me see. Sig library. I might have to say yeah, I might have to type the because I don't repo path. Can you only have one repo path? Like I wonder if I added like if I just added my framework, if it would work. No, Ruby does have types. Ruby 3 does have types. It's new. Yes, static type analysis. Yeah, okay, I'll show you. I'll show you my I'll show you my project that I actually did type. So this is my web framework that I'm using, right? And so the way it works is my language server is called Steep, and so it's just like TypeScript, right? So there's a sig folder with all the types in there. So like here's like a type file, right? It's like a TypeScript file. Let's see. Probably a better example would be the router, I think, which would be really easy to understand. So here's the router implementation, but then here's the router type file. So here's classes. There's some classes that I'm defining. That's just like errors, right? And then here's like the accessors, the constructor, the call. Yeah. So like, and then there's like you can say if it's a string and all this stuff, and like you can say if it's a tuple or nil. Like there's union types, there's optional types. Like it's got it all, you know. So yeah, I did do that for this particular one, and so here you can see. So if I see cannot pass value of type symbol nil, it's in gray, but yeah, I'm moving around so fast. So yeah, you can see this here. Cannot pass value of type symbol nil, right on this line here. This one. So like I set this to be, it could be nil when I destructure from this array or this tuple. And I'm not checking here. So if I just said, oh my gosh, my dog just got super excited. Yeah, because class is it's a reserved keyword, right? So if I said if class name nil or unless class name nil, and then it would go away, right? Yeah, reserved words, exactly. Yep. Hey, one way or another, you know. So yeah, this is the most dynamic part. I tried to make this framework like super not dynamic at all, but it's hard to get around the dynamism when you want to, like, okay, so here's the routes, right? You can pass keywords, and then you can like look them up with object const get, right? And like that's the only way really, unless you pass them directly as literals. But even then, you still have to call public send index, right, to like get it to do to call the method dynamically at runtime. So yeah, I tried to do it less dynamically, but it's really hard with classes and methods. It would be a lot easier if I just said home index, right? Because then I could have whoops, I just ruined this. Because then I could just call this directly, right, as like a method, like on index. Like if I did this or something, right, then it'd be less dynamic. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you have to actually, there's no way to like pass a method from a class or an object and call it later. Undo. Yeah. Yeah, you. All right, so what was I doing? Oh yeah, the test, right? Okay, so expected is so that this is this is gonna be a new authorizations thing with an error message, right? So we could say view authorizations, which, you know what, now that I'm doing this, I actually really like this. I definitely cannot do this in Rails this easily. View, and we'll just say, oh, I wonder if I could have a 2S on that and actually get HTML back. Oh, that would be sick. I should do that. I should do that real fast. Because I kind of want to test it, you know, so I can't really, because it's going to return a new instance of, but I can test the error message. So expected is going to be this thing, right? And then, oh, you know what? Let me do that there. Oh, you know what? My album ran out. The music totally changed. We'll listen to something else. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so expected is this, and actual is going to be the index is going to return the view, and then actual is going to be view error message, right? I mean, at least I can check that it returns the error message. All these cool new angles using your API as a consumer. Yeah, it's so true. Okay, so let's see. So the state is going to be this, but then I have to, so I have to check the session. So I have to It's the session is actually oh man, this song slaps. Okay, so the session is rack session. Classic rack. So I have to set that too. Right? Can I is it gonna do no, it's not gonna can I do this? Okay, there we go. Rack session is gonna be state. And that's gonna be no, and this is gonna be yes, right? There we go. So that's looking good, right? Oh, you know what? I can probably do this too. I'm not sure if rack session makes it symbolized. I think it does. We'll see. All right, so I'm gonna run this test right now. Let me close the server. It's stupid. Ruby test run. Oh my goodness! Cannot require such file. Test app. What am I doing? Require relative? Is that what I'm doing? Relative? Can I do that? Run. Require relative? Oh my goodness. Relative to the test. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Okay, so default session cookie, wrong number of arguments. Wait, why is it calling app? Oh, maybe I should make this a little nicer. Shoot, I just realized that. Segfault core dump. I actually did get a segfault one time. I forgot what I was doing. I was doing some encryption stuff with like a password manager. Oh man, it was so good. Okay. So this actually calls yes app for some reason, and I don't know why. Oh, because I'm requiring app. Right. But what I want to do is require app. I don't even want to do that. Why am I doing that? There we go. Let's do that instead. Okay, so here we go. Require relative. Oh my goodness. Test controllers, app controllers. Definitely not what I wanted to do. We'll just say require, and we'll see if I can require, if it works. Okay, uninitialized constant app controller. Perfect. Require app controllers, app controller, right? There we go. Okay. It'd be nice if I could actually require all the things I want. And this is why Rails does this. There we go. Okay, yes. Uninitialized constant HTTP error. Perfect. HTTP error comes from Twitter, which means I need Twitter too. Oh my. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Require all. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do actually in test run? I'm gonna require I'm gonna require everything. Wow, it's a good thing you made me test this because I might it might help me do this even faster. Okay, yes code. And then we'll say require all, just like I did in app. Right? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Give me everything. Okay, so let me yeah, let me do this. This should be okay. All right, so there we go. Yes, it's working. State doesn't match. Please don't hack me. So that error, invalid request, missing required parameter code. Oh, you know what? It actually sent the request. It's probably not what I want to do. Authorizations controller. Oh, you know what? The params and the rack session did not match up. Or they did? It's supposed to return early though. Why did it send? Why did it? Okay. Please don't hack me. And calls to external have to be injectable. Let's see. Oh, refactoring is going to feel less stressful and not fun, but the payoff. Honestly, I'm not like a huge fan of refactoring. I'd rather just do mocks and stubs. We'll just mock it. Who cares, you know? I don't really care about testability. Pong 211. First time chat. Yes. Want to become famous? Oh no. Oh my gosh, dude, null inside. I need null inside. It even warmed me. It even warned me. Dude, the bots don't stay gone for long, you know? Um okay. What? Okay, cool. The bots, they really so dumb. I can't believe I read that like an idiot. Yeah. So null inside should be it should be it should be doing that now, right? I guess I can do it manually for now. Yeah. Yeah, null inside should be doing it though. And I hope like it just doesn't completely. Okay, so it is a mod now, right? Cool. Yeah, manually. Yeah, I did. I mean, my streams barely get watched, so I can just do things manually. But I do have null inside though now. Again, because before there was like this weird follow botting thing, where people were just like, I don't know what it was. Someone wrote a script or something. Okay, so let me see this. I don't actually know why the env so params state no yes. Okay, actual view error message. Okay, so it should have done when it calls index, it should return a view, right? Here, it should return a view. Um I think that's all I need. I'm pretty sure. Let's just do some quick debugs. You know, just some quick stuff in here so we can see what's going on. So let's see. Okay, so session is state no, state yes. Yeah, so that's right, right? Okay, so I'm gonna make it symbols because apparently the middleware does all that stuff. So params, we'll do state is no, right? There we go. All right, state yes. I cannot set a breakpoint. I don't know how to do that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Test passed. There you go. If I had to write test, that's what I would do, but I don't usually because, like, whatever. It's a side project. I don't know. I'm using Oh my goodness, that's the longest. Fuss Fusseniger Fusseniger. What does DAP stand for? Digital audio processing. Oh, debug adapter protocol. Okay. Let's look at this. Oh my gosh, little play button again. Okay, so let me see. Oh, okay. Oh wow, look at that. That's cool. Yeah, I've never really gotten into like breakpoints and stuff like my whole time programming. I never got into it. It's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Uh, it's what slaps? Oh, the music? Is it too loud? Or is it the debug adapter thing? Just copy it from the chat. Yeah. I just typed it like an idiot. All right, what was I doing? Oh yeah, so that's a test, right? And that works. Cool. I mean, it's definitely not as cool as I would want. If I had to change this test, the DAP slaps so much better than console logging. Look, hey, it's you know what? Personal preference. I love console logging. Okay, so if I had to change this, it'd be cool if I could just do assert equal, and I could just say you know some HTML or something, or I could just do even like a selector, like assert equal, you know, like I could like really high level. So like so I could say like response or something, and I could say like app. So I would say like app is app.new, and then give it the thing, right? Or no, I could say app dot get, right? And then I could just say authorizations, and then I can like pass some stuff like params, like state, no, right? Or I can say params, right? Or I can just pass the env, right? Like that. This would be really cool. I wonder if I could do this right now. But yeah, that would be amazing. And then I could just do response find p or whatever, and then I could say you know, whatever error message, right? That would be really nice. That would be really cool. Um, I don't know if I want to do that right now. But I probably can't do this though. And then it would go through the router and everything. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to do this. Not sure. Uh, okay, it would be good if you could dependency inject stuff into the controller of that route for testing. Um, yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm doing with the env. It's just rack, but yeah, like yeah. In the in the controller. You in the dependency injection. I swear, like what is going on? I mean, dependency injection. It, it just makes everything really like really complicated, you know. It just makes everything like really super complicated. So like, I mean, yeah, I guess I could do dependency injection, right? But then I have to like yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know about I'd rather just do mocks, right? Like I'm telling you, mocks. Like who cares? Like just do mocks, because then you can keep your code the way you want it and the way it makes sense, right? Instead of like, oh, everything comes from everywhere. Because it's, I mean, this controller code is already like, it's already pretty like even just passing env here, right, with the session and everything, like it's already good to go. I mean, the only thing that if I was gonna test this user auth thing, I mean, the only thing that I couldn't get is are these constants here, right? But even then I can set the env. Like I can just set it, right? Like can I just set this to be like this, hello or whatever, right? Jump a call that I'm working on. Jump on a call. Yeah, seriously. Yeah, one of these streams, I should go back to Rust one of these streams. But I don't think I'm gonna do dependency injection in Rust. You know what? Is dependency injection in Rust? Dependency injection. Is that a thing? Oh my goodness, it is a thing. It is medium posts. Is it a relevant pattern? How do I inject? Oh my goodness, someone's asking about warp. Oh wow, someone's actually doing it. Look at that. It's a huge topic that I can't possibly type out in chat. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm familiar. I just don't do it. Like I just not like a super dependency injection person. I mean, dependency injection, like that's Lisp, right? The whole thing about Lisp is like everything's pure and you're always passing everything all the time. And so they have all these like currying function things, like partial function application and all this stuff. And it's like I I don't know. I'm not sure if it makes it clearer or not. I think it makes it less clear. But yeah, all right. So let me see. If I was gonna do this, I would just set the M from outside. I wouldn't even want to dependency inject this. Oh, you're talking about I for IO. Like if I made this post thing, so I have to make another class like injectable post, right? And then I'd pass in the post, the injectable post, right? And then I would say, oh, instead of calling this post, I would call injectable post. Pure heart. Yeah. I mean, I don't yeah, I'm not super into that. I'm not into that. Just mock it. Like there's some mocks and many tests has mocks. Like every testing thing has mocks. Like look at this. You can mock it and then I mean that's a dependency injection at the test level, right? Okay, cool. The bot is working. Sweet. Okay, so let's just try it again. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this again. Let's see. Let's see. I have one test, so I feel like that's good enough, you know? Oh my goodness, I ran this so many times. All right, there we go. Okay, here we go. Starting up eventually. Oh my gosh. This is taking forever. Oh, there we go. Man, Ruby's getting slow. Gotta switch to Rust. Okay, so people who follow you and people who you follow. Any account you can view, including protected accounts. Definitely sounding scary, but you know what? It's all right. Okay, so this is not looking great. I'm not gonna lie to you. So authorizations index, the state matches. There's a code, but I got a no matching pattern error. Nil does not respond to deconstruct keys. So if I look at this stack trace, it is user RB11 in auth. So it's looking like the response from OAuth token is nil, or at least the data is nil, right? So if I, can I go there? Okay, thank you. So if I look at this, mocks now need to know about the internals of the unit under test. Become an API for the test to couple to rather than keeping the unit. You're not giving up on this dependency injection. They keep the unit is a black box with all injectables passed in a part of the unit's public API, like via an option hash arg. Mock make for fragile tests. Probably, but yeah, I don't really have a comeback for that. they probably do make it fragile, but yeah, I don't like. I mean, okay, all right. Let's see. Ruby dependency injection patterns, right? Another Medium post, classic. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this okay, manages notes. What if we want to change the implementation? Oh my goodness. Storage. Oh my goodness. The presenter. Oh no. I guess my only thing about dependency injection is that I think it makes things harder needlessly, you know? I mean, yeah, you can have fragile tests, but at least when you read the code outside of the tests, like you can read it straight in a straightforward way, right? Like you don't have to be like, I've injected this. Like it makes everything super complicated, like in the code, or more complicated. I think I'd rather have there's a trade off, right? And I think I'd rather have fragile tests than than uh than complicated code with dependency injection frameworks, I guess. That's what I would do. All right, so let me see. Deconstruct keys. What was it? What was it? User 11. Right, that's nil. So auth token was nil. It would be cool if it would be really cool if this said what it got back, right? So it definitely got a yeah, that definitely happened. So let's just do a little puts, you know. Let's just do a little see what's going on. Value pass without it. Okay, cool. At least it's showing that. Okay, like if you mock a Postgres library for a get user method, but then decide to change the implementation to use Redis, then all consumers of the get user method that mock Postgres in their tests Now, oh, look at this. Oh, it's banning people. Look at that already. Oh, look at that bot name. Okay, so then all consumers of the get user method that mock Postgres in their tests now need to change. All consumers of the get user method that mock Postgres in their tests now need to change. I guess yeah, I guess you're right. So like if I was gonna do a mock, right? Um, can you I mean, is there a way to centralize mocking? Like, I guess like maybe I'm thinking mocks or stubs are the wrong thing, right? Like if I had to test this HTTP post thing, right, for this OAuth 2 token thing, and I injected it or whatever, or I didn't even inject it. Let's say I have my test again, right? Wherever my test is. So let's say I have my test, right? And I mocked in like a central location, like I just said like mocks, and I would say um, and then I would say how do you even do mocks? What is the stupid mini test mock thing? Mock. Okay, here we go. Mock. Okay, mock expect. It's not really what I wanted to see, but sure. Let me see. Maybe mini test stub. Maybe that's what it is. How do I stub things? Okay, here we go. Oh, I see what you're saying. I actually can't centralize them, right? Create a mock object, book stub. Yeah, I guess you're right. If you change for Redis, that is correct. You know what? I guess you're right. But for me, I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna let it ride. I think it's probably fine. But I guess for like non-side projects, it would probably make sense. I don't use a DI framework, rather keep it as a simple optional parameter to an options object to a function like fn options get followers. This lets you switch out the get followers method when testing to prevent an external call to IO. Yeah, so like Haskell people are very like obsessed with these side effects. Um, yeah, I guess I'm not super obsessed. Like with testing or not testing the side effects. I mean, one thing you could do with network requests, like, okay, so at the end of the day, the network requests are, I mean, if we're really going to go down this road, right? Like, at the end of the day, the network requests are just, they get sent to a socket and it's all text, right? So you can just, if you really wanted to mock network requests, right, to Redis or whatever, if you don't give a replacement, then it defaults to the real that IO's external poor man's DI. I mean, I definitely like that versus like a DI framework. But yeah, if you're gonna mock like okay, so a network request like a HTTP request, you can use there was like an old thing like Ruby cassette or something or VCR. I forget what it's called. VCR, like HTTP or something. What was it called? There it is. There it is. Here it is. So there's this old thing called VCR, and so what happens is it every time you make a network request with any like because they all use this Ruby standard client library under the hood. So every time you make a request, it puts it into a file called cassettes in a folder, and then it just has the URL and the thing. So now you can like so like the first time you do it, you get it, but then it's done, right? And you have like the actual response from the HTTP request. That's one thing I think that you could do, and you could also like you can also mock at the system level, I guess, like not outside of the testing framework or whatever. So you can catch all like your process is running, your test process, and you can just catch all external IO, right? Every Postgres like request, every Postgres connection, everything you can just at the process level and like all just write to files, right? So I mean you could do that. And just like whatever it's expecting back, you could I mean then you have to know Postgres wire protocol, but what are you gonna do? That's one other thing you could do, I guess, when it comes to IO, right? At least for networks. Which I always like Ruby test VCR. I always thought VCR was really cool. Let me see. Here we go. So, okay, here we go. Let's see. VCR code example. So this just does the get request, and then here's the stupid RSpec, and so it does it gets the user, and then so VCR, it stores them all in this VCR thing, and then it stores the actual response, right? It looks like an YAML file, right? So that's kind of cool. Oh my gosh, null inside is going crazy. Like, what is happening? How many bots come in here? Like, it's still rather than cassette. Do I really want to see all these bands? I don't know if I want to see that. Let me see. How do I? Oh, maybe it's show moderation actions. I don't know if I want that. Rather than cassette, just make an fn get my data and switch that with the expected response for that test case. Um, yeah, I guess you could. I guess you could. But I just, because it's so straightforward, right? Like, look at this code. Like, it's super straightforward. Like, there's a URL and you're going to make, there's a body and you're going to make this request, right? And you're setting basic auth and all this stuff. It's like, it's super straightforward. I guess the only thing, like, if you're doing that thing, you would just say net, right? Or something. And then here you would say, you would just give it a default. I know you're talking about. Then you would say net HTTP post, right? And then you could override that in, I guess I could do that, right? And then I could override that in the test, right? So like if I had to test OAuth 2 token, I could say, I could just call OAuth 2 token with like a custom class or something, right? That has the same interface as net HTTP post, right? So I could say like fake post, and then I could say initialize, right? Because what does it take? A URI, right? Then I could just say like basic auth, right? And then that takes some args, right? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I guess I could do that technically. Cassette only solves for talking to a database. Yeah, I mean, like there could be something else like cassette or VCR that does it for Postgres too, because it could be all network requests, right? Like you could basically think about like stubbing a socket, like that would be something I'd be interested in, but I'm not like super into dependency injection. But I guess if it's just an options hash, like that's not bad. But I don't want to bring in a whole like framework for dependency injection. I was never into that. Oh, I shut down the server. Oh, what did I do here? Oh, right. Okay, let me see. Oh, I wanted to see what it responded with because I didn't even have that. So when you switch out get token, you only have to write a fn that returns the token string. Oh, instead I would say get token instead of net and abstract the implementation inside the get token method. Okay. Yeah, so you're talking about like being more pure, right? Right. So here you would say you would have everything that's not network related. You would pass in a method, right? Like poor man's DI, no frameworks, just args and objects. So you would do like get token, right? And then that's like a proc, I guess, in Ruby, right? It's a method, but it's a proc. And here you would say like get token, and then you don't really care what get token is, right? It just responds with what the network would do. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever. It's whatever. I mean, I definitely I want to test it though with the network, to make sure that it's doing what I want it to be doing, like in real life. But yeah, I might get on board with that at some point. but I'm not super into it. Oh my gosh, it's nil still. What did it say? What is the body? Oh, it's just, oh, there's no data. Oh my goodness, it just responds with token type bearer. So it's already working. I just thought that it I thought that it had data. Okay, let me see. OAuth token, OAuth 2 token. Oh my goodness. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that, I don't need that at all. All I need to do is that, right? There we go. That makes it even easier. All right, sweet. Cool. Now I have another problem with my database. What does it do? What is it doing? Insert into login, expires in, created access token, returning, params, access token expires in, created at, wrong number of arguments. Oh, you know what? It's because I changed my framework. Oh, let me see. This whole would be the thing you replace at the caller's end. Yeah, you don't care how it does it, just what it returns. Interface is all the way down. Yeah, the purity. I can taste the purity. It's like the most purest form of like some kind of dark chocolate candy, you know? So sweet. The purity. The purity sweet. What was I doing with this? What am I doing? Initialize? Def initialize? Oh, there we go. Well, it'd be nice if I didn't comment out the code that was working. This is what happens when I just experiment endlessly with this stupid stuff. Okay, so does connect still exist? Yeah, it does. Okay. All right. All right, here we go. Here we go. Can I insert something into the database? That is the question. Oh, is it not using the local? 163. I hope my conversation doesn't come across as or kind of, I just love talking about code and challenging people's ideas to validate our ideas and build better things together. And I appreciate the asides to demonstrate Ruby sub too. Yeah, no, I didn't come off as condescending. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like I used to be obsessed with purity too. But I kind of just like gave it up, I guess. Like I was just like, oh, whatever. Like it doesn't really matter to me, I guess. Like in terms of like my software working or not. But I know what you're talking about. Like it is better for testing, but I think testing, like unit testing, I mean it's not super important, right? Like all those unit testing memes, right? You've seen those things probably. Where like you test the parts but like the whole doesn't add up or whatever. I mean, I'm like integration tests are much more interesting, and whole system tests too. Because then you don't even have to worry about a bunch of stuff. Like you don't have to worry about dependency injection or anything. You're just like do the thing, and that's good, right? And throw some mocks in there, and then just do the thing. So yeah, that would be one thing. Just testing at a higher level. What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this thing? Why is it not working? Okay, so when I call new, right? What is let me see. IRBR app? What is going on with this stupid thing? Okay, defaults given 1, expected 0. What am I using in my gem file? Right? Yes code? I should not have changed so much. I should not have changed this. What am I doing here? Default session cookie? Oh my goodness. Okay, why is this? Okay, default session cookie. It's oh my goodness. Edit any quit. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Okay, if I go to app, default session cookie, what is it? Lapse in unit tests. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't know. It's just like unit tests are good, but at the same time, it's like I don't know. Let me see. What is going on with this? What is wrong with this? Default session cookie, is wrong number of arguments given 1 expected 0. But then it's like Oh, that was the other thing, right? 25, right? I mean, I'm looking at this, and it takes an optional argument. This is the code that I'm looking at, so now I'm kind of like, huh, interesting. Oh, you know what? It's because I'm not doing bundle exec. IRBR app. Okay, so if I try to insert a login, access token, expires in 1, 2. We'll just do time now 2i. Okay, so this oh, I don't have export. Be nice if I did that. Okay, so login is the thing, right? Login, insert. Okay, so that does work, right? Login, is there a dot all? Yeah, like that definitely worked. How is it not working here? What was the error it gave? Insert into login, wrong number of arguments. Given 1, expected 0. This might be because, oh no, it's bundle exec. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let me let me go back over here to the thing. Now that I got through that one, login insert. It's calling new, initialize, def initialize. Okay, load args. I don't think I changed this, but I probably did change this. Let's see, it takes args as a hash. Curious that you have relative line numbers on, but normal line numbers off. Oh yeah, the relative line numbers. You don't even need normal line numbers. When we're going, we don't need normal line numbers anymore. It's all relative. Everything's relative. 15 up, 15 down. That's what I'm talking about. I think I have the bottom right. I have the actual line number, right? In the airline bit. That, or what do they call it? Lua line or something? I'm on line 0 always. Yeah, no, I have it in the bottom right. It's 211, right? But yeah, I only care about line numbers when I get like an exception, which happens quite a bit because I don't do a lot of testing, so I definitely get a lot of exceptions. Initialize new block and auth transaction. Oh, maybe because I'm in a transaction. That doesn't even make any sense though. Because I definitely did this and it worked. Maybe if I do this, T. I don't know. I'm not sure. New inserted. Right. What if I click this? What does it do? Oh, wow, it actually shows the thing. That's kind of nice. This is what I was looking at though. Given 1, expected 0. What? Okay, let me start this up again. This is madness. Because the initializer does take the initializer definitely takes def initialize. It definitely takes 1 argument. It definitely does not expect 0 arguments. Okay. And it's weird because I just did it in the console too. Like that definitely worked. Oh, thank goodness it's something else. What? It's been a lot of fun chatting with you, but I gotta get back to my own work. Keep up the great work. Thanks for the Ruby testing demos, and I'll catch you later. See you later, Peter Boyer. Appreciate you watching. Okay, so this 72. Well, it definitely raised the error, that's for sure. Access token? That must have been nil, right? So let me check logins. Let me check logins. There's only one still. Okay, so it says insert into login and then a rollback transaction. Because I got forbidden? I wonder. OAuth token? Oh, you know what? Yeah, actually. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, I wonder if this this other GET request that I'm calling in user, because I'm trying to insert and then I'm calling user, and then but the login has not been inserted yet, so I think I just have to use access token, right? From there instead of the login, because it doesn't exist yet, right? Because I'm in the transaction, which means if I'm in the transaction, that means that I can't. Oh, you know what? I can though, right? Oh, I can update the login with the user, but if I insert it though, I won't get the ID. Shoot, I might not be able to do this in one transaction. Man, I wish Twitter would respond with a different, with just not more than an access token, right? That would be nice to not do that. Like if you do this OAuth token, it only responds with a token type bearer access token. But I don't even know who I'm like. I don't even know who I'm you know, like logging in as, right? So I have to make this other request right away. Okay, well, what are you gonna do? I guess like for this, I can just split it up, right? Like I could do 2 transactions, and I can say I can just insert the login because it definitely did happen, and then I can do this, right? And I can probably do this asynchronously, but it's fine. I don't want to do it asynchronously right now. Let me see. So this, maybe I just don't do it in a transaction. Maybe I just do it. Ooh, I do want to do it in a transaction though, because like I have to associate the login with the person. Let's just try it and see what happens. I just want to try this and see what happens. If I just send the access token, I should be able to get that. Right? That should be good. But yeah, I don't. Okay, let's look at the access token. And then let's look at the login too. Because the login, I mean, in a transaction, it should exist. Like, that shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. Let's look here. Okay, so the login, so the login does exist, no problem, right? And the access token exists too, right? And then, so this says forbidden. Users me is forbidden. So I'm actually using, so the access token is not nil like I thought it was. So I can do what I want to do, which is good. But the thing is, users me responds with a 403. So I can probably do a little better with this. I could say res when it's a HTTP success, right? Or when it's a forbidden, HTTP forbidden, right? HTTP forbidden. There it is. And then else raise standard error. And I think we can just say res.inspect or something. I don't know. We can put that in a thing, right? In a string. Okay, so then we could do that, right? Or maybe just res inspect is probably fine, maybe? I'm not sure. And then here we can just say HTTP error 403 forbidden, right? Forbidden, and then it could say whatever that happens to be, I guess. And then this could be this is when you actually parse the JSON, right? There we go. And this could be inspect too, I guess. All right. Getting my errors straight. Okay, so that is definitely not super helpful. Let's see what resbody says. Okay, so it says it doesn't really say much, right? Cool. So this users me thing's not really gonna work like I thought it was, right? I thought for sure I'd be able to get the current user based on the access token. But no, it's not working. So authorization basic for generating with base64 while making a request to the with example if the user agent wishes to send client ID. Okay, so I did do this. Okay, authorize, sure. Token, access token, got it. And then this connect to the APIs. Okay, so bearer token, so authorization bearer, and then you will pass, instead of passing, you'll want to pass the access token you generated in the last step. You should see the appropriate corresponding to the endpoint. Okay, so just sending this access token is not working, right? Do I have to like base64 encode it or something, right? Let me try to just output an access token. Or let me actually save it to the database just for now. Just so I can actually see something. Okay. So I have a login, right? But that's outside of the transaction, right? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, what if I just don't do that transaction? It should insert the access token, right? Okay, so it should not roll back at all. Okay, good. There we go. Yes. Okay. That was I think that was a different bug entirely. So now I have an access token. Okay. Oh, it's cached. Oh my gosh. The amount of things that I've been doing here to my framework, it's not good. So I just realized the query cache I don't want it. I don't want it on the console. I don't think. I don't even. Maybe might not even want it at all. Maybe I'm a little. I'm a little too quick to do the caching. Right. Maybe I'll just get rid of that. Yeah. Maybe I'll just get rid of that entirely. Right. If I look for the word cache. Okay. We'll just get rid of cache entirely. Here we go. So this, I don't want this. Okay. I don't even need that either. Okay, so now the word cache does not exist anymore. So let me, yeah, okay, that was right. Okay, so login all. Login all. Okay, good, perfect. So here I have an access token. And I can, I should be able to, if I just include the Twitter thing into the console, I should be able to say users me and give it that access token. Login all last access token. Okay, so it's definitely saying 403 forbidden, right? That's definitely what I'm seeing. But I don't know. I don't know why, I guess, right? You are now ready to connect to the endpoints using OAuth 2.0. But I guess I'm not, right? Access token. OAuth token, you need to pass content. I did do all this stuff. And now it says connect to APIs. I'm looking at this thing as bearer token authentication. Auth flow. There must be something I'm missing here. Token type bearer. Rate limiting. Application only. Obtaining a bearer token, which I have. Okay. Yeah, that's looking good. Authenticate API request with bearer token. Includes an authorization header with the value of bearer. Oh, base 64. Signing is not required. Okay, so I need to base 64 and code it. Let's see, net HTTP Ruby bearer token. Maybe it'll do it. Maybe it'll do no, it doesn't. Okay. So let me try to base 64 and code it, I guess. That's annoying. Let's come up here, require base 64. We'll organize these. Yep. Okay, let's do base 64 and code 64. I don't know if I need to do URL safe. I think it'll probably be fine. Okay, so let me try this again. Let me include Twitter. Okay. So no implicit conversion of array into string. Cool. Base 64 and code 64. Oh, I got rid of params. Jeez. Okay, here we go. No implicit. Oh my goodness. What? Did I not say params access token? Params access token, right? Here, we'll say if it doesn't exist, give me an error, right? There we go. Okay, I don't see how it's an array. Oh, you know what? Why is the content type? I shouldn't do that. What else is there? Net start. Okay. I think this is all looking okay now. Okay. Okay, header field value cannot include. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think we'll do encode URL save. I didn't think I needed URL save, but apparently I do. Okay, now it says, okay, now I'm getting somewhere. Authenticating with OAuth 2.0 application only is forbidden for this endpoint. Supported authentication types are OAuth 2.0 user context. Okay. At least there's like a URL for me to visit. Okay, what does this say? Okay. What access token do I even have? Like what access token do I even have here? What can I do with this access token? I don't even understand this. So OAuth 2.0 application only is forbidden? Is this like a thing with my app that I did? Like am I only doing like developer.twitter? Am I only doing like maybe I need to change my app somehow? Like am I not using the right version of the Twitter API? OAuth 2.0 turned on, right? Okay, so my app definitely has OAuth 2 turned on, right? Okay. All right, so that's cool. Let me log into all. So I have two different access tokens, right? What is expired? What is 7200 seconds? Is it already expired? What is that? Is that 2 hours? What is that? 7200 seconds? Is that, I'm guessing that's seconds? Okay, so yeah, it's 2 hours, so it's still good. Wow, it only lasts 2 hours. Huh. Okay, so yeah, I guess I don't really know what to do. Well, with that, I think the stream is going to end because I really have to debug this. I don't really know what I'm doing here with the Twitter API. So apparently I don't have the right credentials, but I have access tokens, and I am definitely sending the bearer token. At least it understands now what I want to do, but it just says I don't know why I'm doing OAuth 2.0 application only. I'm definitely not wanting to do that. I'm definitely wanting to do the user context thing. Yeah, I'm looking at bearer token. Okay, yeah, I don't have much patience for this. All right, well, that's the stream. It was very disappointing for me personally, but what are you going to do? Okay, so I'll be back probably tomorrow to finish this. I will probably fix this by then, but we'll see. Thanks for watching. I really